Northeast severe blizzard, Beijing faces cold wave, Heilongjiang issues red alert with record-breaking potential. The Relentless flee China of foreign companies. Now it's Gallup international consulting firm's turn. China's sluggish consumption triggers a wave of coffee shop closures due to intense competition. China's sluggish. CCP's National Security Ministry threatens to punish those who predict hollowing out of Chinese economy. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Northeast severe blizzard, Beijing faces cold wave, Heilongjiang issues red alert with record-breaking potential. Over the past few days, northeastern China has been hit by heavy snowfall, with the potential to break historical records. The phrase "the intense snowfall in the northeast has turned things purple" trended on November 5th. On the evening of the 4th, the China Meteorological Administration issued 4 major warnings, including cold waves, blizzards, strong winds, and severe convective weather. By 6 a.m. on November 5th, these warnings continued, encompassing an orange blizzard warning and a blue cold wave warning. On November 7th, the central and eastern parts of Inner Mongolia, the western and northern regions of the northeastern area, and other areas experienced substantial snowfall, ranging from heavy to blizzard conditions. Some areas witnessed extremely heavy blizzards. The forecast map revealed that the snowfall in the northeastern region was so intense that it almost appeared purple. The Daxingling region saw temperatures drop below -25 degrees Celsius, an exceptionally frigid situation. Heilongjiang activated a Level 3 emergency response for this significant meteorological disaster, blizzard. Meteorological analyst John Wan from the China Weather Network noted that the intensity of this early November snowfall was relatively rare. On the 5th, the Harbin Municipal Education Bureau announced that on the 6th, elementary and middle schools, kindergartens, and extracurricular training institutions in Harbin's main urban areas would suspend classes for a day. Jilin Province initiated a Level 4 emergency response to address the challenges posed by blizzards and freezing disasters. According to the Shenyang Railway Bureau, from November 5th to 7th, certain passenger train services were temporarily halted or had adjustments made to their routes. The cold wave will continue its southward movement in the coming days, gradually impacting large parts of China from west to east and from north to south. As the cold air infiltrates, temperatures in many northern areas, including the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River, will reach new lows for late autumn. In Hangzhou, temperatures will plummet from 30 degrees Celsius on the 6th to 19 degrees Celsius, resulting in a rapid and dramatic temperature drop. Meanwhile, Beijing is experiencing continuous rainfall, strong winds, and a cold wave. According to the Beijing Daily, in Beijing, due to the influence of a robust cold front, the highest precipitation in the entire city occurred in Chaitsuan village, Tongzhou, measuring 10.6 millimeters. Meanwhile, the mountainous areas experienced sleet or snow. Following the rainfall, a north wind is swept in. During the night of the 5th and early morning of the 6th, Beijing is expected to face a north wind of approximately force 4, with gusts reaching about force 7. Some mountainous regions may experience even stronger gusts, potentially reaching force 8 or higher. Furthermore, starting from the 5th, temperatures in Beijing will significantly drop, with daytime highs hovering around 12 degrees Celsius. Overnight, the low temperature on the 6th is projected to plummet to 0 degrees Celsius. The Beijing Meteorological Bureau has issued blue wind and cold wave warning signals to alert residents to these conditions. The Relentless flee China of foreign companies. Now it's Gallup international consulting firm's turn. On November 4th, the renowned American consulting firm Gallup made an announcement regarding its withdrawal from business operations in China. This decision stemmed from heightened scrutiny by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, and escalating geopolitical tensions, posing significant challenges to their continued presence in China. The information was reported by the Financial Times. The report mentions that the company is presently in the process of closing its 3 offices in mainland China, but the precise number of local employees retained by the organization remains unclear. The report underscores the growing difficulties faced by American consulting firms when conducting business in mainland China. In addition to the overall economic slowdown, the CCP's security agencies have been intensifying their scrutiny and surveillance of consulting companies, making it increasingly challenging to conduct public opinion polls. Gallup, a globally recognized consulting company primarily involved in research and analysis for business marketing, began its operations in mainland China in 1993, maintaining offices in Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. In March of this year, Gallup conducted a survey that revealed a historic low in the percentage of Americans with a positive view of mainland China, dropping to 15%. Subsequently, Gallup became a target of the Chinese Communist authorities. The official Chinese media outlet, Global Times, alleged that Gallup's surveys were a tool for containing China and maintaining American dominance and accused these polls of being a tool manipulated by American political elites to discredit China on the international stage. Gallup's decision to withdraw from China amplifies existing concerns about the future prospects of foreign consulting companies operating in mainland China. The Financial Times also reveals that, in addition to Gallup, several other multinational consulting firms have taken steps to scale back their operations in mainland China. For instance, Forrester Research, a technology consulting company, initiated workforce reductions in China. Meanwhile, Gerson Lehrman Group, an online consulting company, began reducing its workforce in China earlier this summer. On November 2, according to sources cited by Bloomberg, Vanguard Group, a prominent asset management firm, is in the process of exiting mainland China. This exit strategy involves shutting down its fund market office in China and having employees, including those responsible for Chinese business, sign departure agreements. Since the Chinese Communist authorities expanded the scope of their anti-spying law on July 1 this year, the situation has become more tense. Prior to this, Chinese security agencies conducted raids and searches in the offices or branches of American consulting firms, including Bain & Company, the due diligence group Mintz, and the industry-leading consulting company CapVision. China's sluggish consumption triggers a wave of coffee shop closures due to intense competition. China's sluggish. The Chinese economy is currently experiencing a slowdown, and this frugality trend has seeped into the coffee industry. Major coffee chain brands have launched a price war this year by offering coffee for as little as 9.9 yuan, approximately $1.36, to attract customers. Consequently, this wave of consumer belt-tightening has ignited an intense price battle in the coffee sector, resulting in the closure of numerous mid- to high-priced independent coffee shops. Faced with the fierce competition, tens of thousands of coffee shops on mainland China had to shut down. Previously, Kuti Coffee set the price per cup at 8.8 yuan, followed by Luckin Coffee reducing their prices to 9.9 yuan, using the occasion of celebrating 10,000 stores as a pretext for launching a price war through coupons. This trend has persisted. Consequently, many boutique coffee shops have had to introduce short-term promotional pricing and special combo deals. Even fast food chains like KFC and McDonald's have frequently offered discounts at 9.9 yuan. While these large brands have seen diminishing profits, their revenues have grown significantly, and they've rapidly expanded their number of outlets. In 1991, Starbucks opened its inaugural coffee shop on the mainland in Beijing's Guomao area, establishing coffee as an imported product catering to high-end business clientele. However, with the ascent of Luckin Coffee and the surge in popularity of the fast coffee model for takeout, coffee has transitioned from its high-end persona to a more accessible commodity. Although Starbucks may appear relatively untouched by the low-price coffee war, their financial reports indicate that while the global average customer spending has risen by 4%, Starbucks China has observed a 3% drop in average customer spending. Additionally, Starbucks sales in China have grown by 5%, but this figure falls behind the global growth rate of 8%. The independent coffee shops offering coffee in the 20 to 30 yuan price range have been hit hardest by this wave of consumer belt-tightening and the subsequent coffee price war. According to data from Red Catering, as of October 29, an estimated 44,000 coffee shops across mainland China have ceased operations. As reported by Zhejiang TV, major coffee chains have dominated the market with their low-priced offerings of 9.9 and 8.8 yuan. In Hangzhou's Midu Bridge Road area, you can find both Slumping coffee outlets and numerous independent coffee shops. Some independent coffee shop owners have expressed concerns, saying, "To be honest, 9.9 yuan is a bit excessive. We can't lower our prices just because they're cheaper, we don't have the financial means, and reducing prices will only result in continuous losses." One independent coffee shop owner shared their difficulties with Jiemian News, saying, "It's challenging with Slumping coffee and coffee box opening right next to my shop." Once Slumping coffee launched, it immediately caused a 40% decline in their revenue. Many entrepreneurs who faced similar situations have complained that 9.9 yuan coffee killed my independent coffee shop. A blogger on the Xiaohongshu platform known as Beiyuanlamai shared her experience. She opened an independent coffee shop in Tianjin in May 2022, hoping to cater to the coffee consumption habits of white-collar workers in the finance sector. However, due to circumstances, she was forced to join the price war. We also introduced a 9.9 yuan Americano, and initially, sales were strong, with around 100 cups sold per day. However, at this price point, we were making absolutely no profit, and the better the business did, the more losses we incurred. Especially when customers ordered through delivery platforms, after factoring in platform commissions and delivery fees, the 9.9 yuan coffee would only bring in 5 yuan. After operating for about half a year, the coffee shop continued to operate at a loss. Unable to sustain the financial strain, Beiyuanlamai was forced to close her shop. She lamented, "Even if we burned through money, we couldn't compete with the 8.8 yuan Kuti coffee and 9.9 yuan Slumping coffee." CCP's National Security Ministry threatens to punish those who predict hollowing out of Chinese economy. The Chinese Communist regime's Ministry of National Security has issued a rare warning to punish those who speak negatively about the Chinese economy. China observers believe this shows that the Chinese economy has reached a dangerous point, and that investors no longer have confidence in the ruling CCP. At the same time, capital flight is accelerating. China's Ministry of State Security posted an article on its official account on the Chinese social media platform WeChat on November 2, pledging to actively participate in protecting the country's financial stability and closely monitor risks in the industry. It warned that it is necessary to clearly understand the many risks and challenges facing its financial security. The article said that there are 4 kinds of people: those who predict the hollowing out of the Chinese economy, those who have already taken action to withdraw funds from China, those who talk and promote the idea of moving capital out of China, and those who are draining the Chinese economy from within. These people and their actions have attempted to shake the international community's confidence in investment in China and to trigger domestic financial turmoil in China. The article threatens to punish these financial crimes in accordance with the law. The unusual statement about China's economic problems from the CCP's National Security Ministry attracted international attention. US-based current affairs commentator Tang Jingyuan said in his YouTube talk show on November 4, "This is from Xi Jinping, it's Xi's direct order. The Ministry of National Security has never interfered with finance or the economy before, except for serious financial crimes. They are not in charge of the specific economic issues, such as investment withdrawals from China." Mr. Tang pointed out the dangerous trends set by the National Security Ministry's statement. Nobody else in the international community dares to let spies take charge of the economy. Spies managing a nation's finances is an unprecedented change. It is a harbinger of spies governing the country in a comprehensive manner. Today, the Ministry of Security is to take over finance and outline the direction of development of the financial field. Will the next step be to let the spies point out the direction for education? Some people believe that the Chinese Communist Party is running out of tricks as it sees the financial crisis approaching. This can be seen from the Ministry of State Security's article blaming China's financial crisis on so-called individual countries, people with ulterior motives, and empty talkers and short sellers. Xi Jinping needs more scapegoats. On the other hand, this also reflects that Beijing's finance has become extremely unsafe. Lao Man, a financial self-media person, asked, "To what extent is the current financial crisis? So much so that the Ministry of National Security needs to jump out and threaten the market publicly, and the market is not allowed to make bearish remarks. As for short selling, it is not even considered a simple violation of the law, but a major and vicious criminal act that endangers national security and must be dealt with personally by the Ministry of National Security. Since the beginning of this year, with the outbreak of crises in Evergrande and Country Garden, China's economic alarm has continued to sound. U.S. President Joe Biden said China is a ticking time bomb and that economic woes will lead to growing dissatisfaction in China. Financial problems. CCP leader Xi Jinping said at the Central Financial Work Conference on October 31 that preventing and resolving financial risks is the government's eternal theme and vowed to strengthen supervision in all aspects. Heilongjiang, an economist based in the United States, said on November 2 that none of Mr. Xi's proposals, including those at the Central Financial Work Conference, can actually be expected to work. The entire Chinese financial system is at risk, and the storm is coming, and it may collapse at any time. Last month, the Wall Street Journal published an article by chief economic commentator Yu Weiping stating that a financial crisis in China is possible. Once the Chinese government no longer believes that banks and local governments are too big to fail and stops providing support, a financial crisis will occur. New York-based senior current affairs commentator Li Lini said that Beijing's financial sector faces multiple risks, such as debt risks and property market risks. One is the risk of capital outflows, as evidenced by recent shrinking foreign exchange reserves. According to public data, China's foreign exchange reserves continue to decline this year. In August, it fell again by $44.2 billion, a decrease of 1.38%. In September, it dropped another $45 billion, a decrease of 1.42%, the largest decline in 7 months. As of the end of September 2023, China's foreign exchange reserves were $3.1151 billion. China's foreign exchange reserves are mainly US dollar assets. Mr. Tang said that Mr. Xi believes there are two root causes for the problems facing China's economy. One is the United States using currency hegemony to suppress the Chinese economy, and the other is the four kinds of people inside China who sabotage Chinese economy, and that's why they need to be cracked down upon. Mr. Li said he believes the problems with China's economy are actually because the international community does not trust the CCP, and foreign businessmen are trying every means they can to withdraw their investments from China, while domestically, people who have some money, whether they are middle class or high income and high net worth people, are trying to find ways to transfer money out of China as the RMB continues to depreciate. Meanwhile, the CCP's Ministry of National Security came out to threaten those who predict a negative future for China's economy and the hollowing out of capital. Mr. Li believes the new policy shows that financial turmoil in China has already set in. Now, the CCP not only warns them but will also arrest those who talk about moving capital out or are already withdrawing from China. The money is theirs, so can't they take it away with them? Now, it has become like this. Mr. Li said, this has indicated to the Chinese people and foreign investors that this government is not based on the rule of law, but is entirely governed by rulers with unconstrained power. Therefore, capital withdrawal from China is inevitable. As for how the crisis in the economic field will affect the CCP regime, scholar Wang Dan once pointed out that it depends on whether the Chinese people can tolerate low-end life. However, the economic crisis will harm the interests of the elite groups themselves, and may intensify the internal struggles within the ruling group, which may lead to a regime crisis. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.